So funny enough, we finally got a similar type of feature on both our iPhones and Androids within iOS 18. We now have dedicated game mode on both of our particular devices, which is actually very cool. So whether you're on stock Android or iOS 18, you should have it, including like One UI and different versions like that. I want to kind of explain some of the core differences between these two versions of game modes, and at the core, they're both basically the same thing. They're both like tuned profiles for different different games that you may play. So no matter what game you may jump into, so let's say we're jumping into like a Genshin Impact here, and let's say we're jumping into Genshin Impact on my iPhone 13 Pro, you should theoretically be able to enable game mode immediately as soon as they go and turn on. So you can see on my iPhone 13 Pro, I just enabled it, it's already enabled. On my Google Pixel 8 Pro, if I go and swipe down, sometimes there's a game mode option that comes up on some devices. On this one, you can see if I swipe up, there should be a little game mode option that comes up right in the top right corner. So the core difference at the very beginning is to enable it, there's a little pop-up that comes up on iOS. On Android, you have to swipe up and then you'll see that little game mode option. Now you can see that there's the game dashboard that comes up, which is nice. So there's like a dedicated dashboard on this one, whereas on iOS, it's not quite the same. If I go and swipe down, you can see as of this point, there's just like a little like dash that comes up right there, and I can click on it and I can go and basically get into it like that. So that's kind of the difference that you're going to be getting from two different game modes. So you can see right here, I would definitely say on the Android side, it definitely looks a little bit more polished, but this is just one way to kind of, examine it. If we take a look on, iOS game mode at the core, really what it does is it kind of eliminates a lot of background tasks and a lot of background, processes. But it will also do one other thing that I don't think Android has. When you're plugging in, let's say, a different type of controller, let's say I'm using a dedicated controller on my iPhone, it will actually improve or decrease latency on my particular controller to my, iPhone game, and that includes AirPods. If I'm going through and if I have AirPods connected to my particular iPhone, well, guess what? I can go ahead and basically improve and reduce the latency on my game mode on my particular iPhone, which is actually very, very cool. Now, on my Android side, there's, from what I can see, there's not anything that's listed, from these things. If I take a look at the, game mode option that came out within Android 12, you can see that it says the game mode API, game mode interventions, I like to optimize gameplay by prioritizing characteristics such as performance on battery life, on user settings, or game-specific configurations. So there should be improvements in the controller settings options as well. But if we take a look here, there's a lot more things I would say inside of the game dashboard here. But this has been fleshed out. This has been here for multiple different Android versions. On iOS 18, it just came out, so it probably will take a little bit of time. See right here, we click right here, you can go and take a screenshot and have that screenshot option available there. You can also tap on here if you want the recording, if you just want to record straight into it, quickly, you can do that here. If you want to enable FPS, you can do that here too, which is really cool. If you want to click here, which is Do Not Disturb, you can also have that here. And both phones will allow you to have Do Not Disturb mode and specific game Do Not Disturb mode options if you want to. So as always, you can enable optimizations if there are available for that game, and so many things across the board too. And you can have your particular game dashboard here as well. So most Android phones have this. I've messed around with a lot of Android phones and a lot of them have it. On the iPhone side, again, like I said, if we're comparing, performance levels, of course, if you're going, no matter what game you're going to play, there's going to be performance level differences between two different devices because they're different chipsets and everything. But from the core, I will say iOS has had less time to flesh out their game mode option than Android. Android's been here at least for like 2 or 3 years now. If I was Apple, I would have a dedicated game mode screen, just like how Android does. I would love to be able to go inside of a game just like this, and I would love to be able to see like a full-on game mode option beyond than just this. And this looks like whatever, like whenever you sign into like whatever the game center thing, it kind of looks like that. Like it looks like this. Like I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be a dedicated thing that's better than this. So those are kind of the main differences between iOS game mode and Android game mode so far. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.